Absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's really true. Rafay misses his homeland. You know, he appreciates America, but he thinks of his homeland in the most romantic and patriotic ways. You know, he glosses over security concerns and corruption, and he talks about all the people making a difference, and there are so many. Teaches our kids about Eastern values and talks about his parents to Syra and Zayan. And the truth is, though, that everyone who knows Rafay knows that he is the most utopian optimist that has ever existed. He sees the good in people, he sees the good in his country, he sees the good in America. He is literally whistling all the time or singing Urdu songs. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm right there along with him. I was voted most optimistic in high school, so both of us don't really let harsh reality get too close for too long. We're idealists, for sure. And I'm going to tell you something else, which is hard to believe, but I promise you is completely true. Rafay is really intuitive. He kind of just knows things sometimes. He's just really intuitive. He has this recurring dream about Pakistan, about making this song and it being unifying and bringing all the provinces together. It's a dream about the unity song. And he first had that dream more than 7 years ago. He would bring it up and talk about it so vividly. But it was something we never thought we could do. It was a time when we were back and forth to China, and it was this incessant travel, and it was starting to take a toll. It was glamorous, but it was also so hard. It was becoming more hard than glamorous. You know, when you get this new job and you're so psyched about all the fun, quirky things of your new job, and you have this cool, shiny new desk and all of the, people, you're just living your best life, and then months later it's like, not this guy again, and all of those quirky, fun things are full-on painful. I mean, it's not that dramatic, but you kind of know when it's time to do the next thing. It's intuition. And the more that me and Rafay talked about it, the more it was like, it's time for the unity song. Now, this was the summer of 2001, and it felt like the height of security issues in Pakistan were at that time. Karachi felt like it was like a war zone. There were rampant target killings, the full city shutdowns. I remember reading about one human rights worker saying that it was a free-for-all between heavily armed fractions continuing to claim innocent lives, and that the government was playing this game of see no evil, hear no evil. And we watched Rafay's peaceful childhood home become transformed into this battleground with checkpoints and guns. And I never knew until that point what it really felt like not to feel safe in your own home. It is such an incredibly uneasy feeling that stays with you. reality when we were in Pakistan at that time. But adding to that, Rafay's mother lost her battle with breast cancer during that time. And she was in Boston, and Rafay was overseeing her care, and his whole family was there. But it was a dark time. Rafay was really close with his Amma, and he wasn't whistling anymore. And he felt the pain of Karachi streets even deeper during that time. So late one night, we decided to shed our darkness and try, to take action whatever we could. It was time to fulfill the unity song and this dream, to try to make it a reality. It was a recurring dream at that point that Rafay was having, and we were going to just try to do what we could. But we both had a lot less optimism at that point. I think many in Pakistan felt the same way. I know our friends and relatives talked about that despair and this loss of hope, and we felt it too. But at the same time, there was this unexplainable esoteric push just to try. Rafay kept mentioning Hakim Saeed, who had been a distant relative, and he was an Eastern medicine healer, and we had all met him after our wedding in Karachi. My parents and our friends and Rafay, we toured and talked with him at Hamdard University. And Rafay was introducing everyone, and he introduced me, and he said, "Oh, this is my wife," and "Oh, she's a singer." And there was like a bit of like an apologetic tone to his voice, because he didn't want the honorable Hakim Saeed to think that he married some cheap bar singer or something. But he picked right up on it, and Hakim Saeed said to Rafay, "Music is a universal language, and it is the medicine for human soul." And it really stuck with us. It was one of those amazing moments. And there was something else. Amma had said to Rafay before her passing, "Don't lose hope." Amma said to him in Urdu, "Hope is the foundation of this world. Never lose hope." And it felt like it was in her honor, whatever we could put together, however we could make this happen, it would be for Amma. And we were off. To bring the most utopian artistic ideas to business leaders in Pakistan. And it was the most painful couple of months. We didn't know anyone in the entertainment industry in Pakistan, and we weren't even entirely sure if there was one at that time. It was so rough and dangerous. But we arranged these meetings with executives and business leaders and bank leaders, and we went back and forth to Pakistan a bunch of times, just for these meetings, just to get this whole thing done. Everyone in Pakistan and in the US were telling us what a bad idea it was. It wasn't safe, it wasn't dangerous, no one will listen to you, no one will like this idea. You are a white American woman, they don't totally trust you. And they were saying, this is not a good idea. The Lahore U.S. Embassy was shut down. They had all these travel advisories, and everyone just kept saying to be careful. But this was the definition of a passion project. I mean, Rafay was taking so much time off from work, and I wasn't doing shows in China anymore, and there were all of these expenses. We were flying back and forth to Pakistan, and we weren't catching a break. And there were these real lows. There were these, we would come out from these meetings with these executives, and they would just, it was so frustrating. Right at this time that a Dawn News article came out about us, and they titled the article, "She Wants to Sing for Pakistan." Not she is singing for Pakistan, but she wants to sing for Pakistan. Dawn News is very familiar with these idealistic types, and they had our number. Maybe she will, maybe she won't, but she wants to. How true is that? We were on our way back in Islamabad in the car, and we were coming back from a big bank meeting to see if they would sponsor our song and our music video. And this time, they had not faked their compliments and their flowery praise for our idea, but they had stated, that they did not think this was a good idea and that we were definitely wasting our time, and they absolutely did not think that we could pull this off, this unity project. And it was, at the moment, almost kind of refreshing, because everyone kept stringing us along, saying, "Oh, what a great idea. You are so good to think of this." And, they never, ever had any intention of supporting the idea. But this was, actually honest. Rafay and I decided that we really preferred the respectful dishonesty more, and that this was too way of a low. We just, couldn't continue like that. We were on our way to our friend Ashraf's house, and thank God for their family. We ate so much. I like to eat my feelings. I snuggled with our kids, and we laughed at ourselves on TV, and we tried to pretend that we were not crazy to do this project. And, Rafay kept saying, "It's not that bad. It wasn't that bad," ever the optimist. But that night, Syra and I talked, and I told her what happened. And now she is a very sensible girl, thank God. She, is very level-headed. But she said, this will happen. Might not be exactly this world-dominating takeover that you imagine, but, this will happen. And we're going to do this together. We're all in this together. We're going to do this as a family. And it was all the encouragement that I needed.
शाबाश पहले हम पाकिस्तानी पहले हम पाकिस्तानी
Pakistan!